HQ presents
The Worst Girl Gang Ever.
Written and read by
Bex Gunn
and Laura Buckingham. To all the baby loss warriors navigating their own shitstorm.
We know it's dark, but we've got you. Introduction.
Being alone can be lonely, but feeling alone when surrounded by others is perhaps the most isolating of all experiences.
If this rings true for you, then you've come to the right place. Baby loss is like learning a new language and forgetting how to speak the old one. You can tell your story openly and honestly in a room full of people, but if no one can speak the same language as you, they won't understand. They will try. They might ask you to speak more slowly or more clearly, but ultimately they will not fully grasp what you are saying. They may smile and nod, trying to look for common ground, or they might avoid you completely, finding it easier to ignore you than to struggle to understand what you are saying. You might end up feeling as though you are boring to be around, like you bring down the mood. You feel that no one gets you and this new language is uncomfortable. You're not used to it either. It's hard enough trying to learn all the words for yourself, let alone teaching them to anyone else. It's exhausting. And then you stumble across someone and you recognise a word or two. You realise that although you're both struggling a little to navigate the vowels or articulate the narrative, you can actually understand one another. This is us. This is our new language. It is the language of baby loss. It is a language built from pain, and it is a language we need to teach others. Welcome to our gang.
Firstly, we are so sorry that you find yourself here. It really is the gang that you'd never choose to be a part of, but as you'll soon find out, this is also a gang chock-a-block with kind, supportive warrior women just like you. There is a huge misconception that if your baby dies before he or she is born, they don't count. The experience is swept under the carpet because they never made it to the real world. But your baby doesn't just become real at the point of birth. They become real at the point of conception, and even before that, through dreams and hopes of motherhood. The point at which your baby dies during pregnancy has no bearing on the reality of your child. It is a life you've been planning and dreaming of, probably for years, and cannot be measured in the days and weeks of gestation. The idea of being a mother, for many of us, certainly comes years before we are in any sort of position even to contemplate having children. That's a considerable amount of time to think about something, to plan it, to allow your dreams to play out. So many of us have chosen names. We've pictured in our minds the holidays, the Christmases, the tiny little fingers, the schools, the cuddles. So in reality, the positive on a pregnancy test, those two little blue lines, simply pull everything from years of daydreams into a new reality, a physical one. Is it any wonder then that when we miscarry, when we lose the baby that has been so settled in our hearts and minds since we were little girls, it is utterly devastating. And yet we worry that we are not entitled to grieve. We worry that our grief is disproportionate to our loss.
We are here to tell you it's not. When we experience this loss, we are grieving both the physical baby that won't ever make it into our arms and the heartbreaking realisation that the world we have grown up creating in our minds and believing in and trusting in is not as we thought. And on top of all that, we are expected to grieve quickly and quietly, to just get over it, to not make a fuss and not look back, and not make a big deal of it in case it makes others feel awkward. At least, we bet you've heard those two loaded words a few times. Some people will say things like, at least it was early, or at least you already have kids, to try and make you feel better, when actually it's bloody unhelpful, completely invalidates your experience and makes you feel like you have no right to grieve. Well, you do. We all do. We at the Worst Girl Gang Ever share all these feelings, and we have completely got you. By listening to this book, you have realised the importance of sharing and making others aware of this very raw and very sad reality. According to our friends at Tommy's The Baby Loss Charity, 1 in 4 pregnancies will end in miscarriage. 1 in 4. That is a huge statistic. It is a huge proportion of pregnancies. So why do we not talk about it? Perhaps because it's too visceral, too private. Miscarried babies never breathed air or saw light. We don't have a language for them.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?